At Lagos Television, it's all about storytelling. And when others are silent on the issues bothering on the center of excellence, we remain committed. You're watching Lagos Television, the voice of Lagos.
On the news tonight, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu earmarks 5 billion naira for the construction of NYSC permanent camp in Lagos, gifts 100,000 naira each to Batch B corps members. Lagos residents to access affordable health care as state government launches Ilera Eco's standard JARA health insurance plan and virtual booths. Federal government announces 2024 NECO results for Unity schools as JAMB cancels aptitude test for direct entry candidates. And on the foreign scene, 1 killed, several injured as police fires tear gas to disperse anti-government protesters, calling on the resignation of Kenya's President Williams Ruto. These and more shortly. Good evening and many thanks for joining us. I am Adibimpe Omotayo. Now, the Oba of Lagos, Oba Rilwan Akiolu, has appealed to Nigerians to be patient with the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The Lagos monarch was speaking when the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, paid him a visit at his Iga Idugoran Palace in Lagos. Oba Akiolu says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu means well for the nation as he is a man who is grassroots focused. Oba of Lagos also admonished the youth to be closer to God as they are majorly good and hardworking.
The only problem in this country, and I've been telling the government, I've been telling them, the tax collection system, the contract award system is not proper. It's only salary and wage earners that are paying tax. Majority of the self-employed people, they don't pay.
First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu, who was at the palace in the company of wives of some of the Southwest governors, wives of National Assembly members, wives of some ministers and wives of service chiefs, thanked the royal father for his continued support, prayers and admonitions.
He said, even in our culture, when things are good, we have to pray. When things are not so good, we have to pray. Nigeria is a praying nation. It's the prayers that have kept us this far. These are the things KBC trusts. And the market people should not, they should be nice enough to support this administration. We will be coming up with, economic empowerment, 1,000 women per state, which we are giving 50,000 petty traders like pepper sellers, vegetable sellers, and those are the things we are planning for that is going to take.
The visit by the First Lady was an opportunity for the monarch to restate his appeal for a special status for Lagos State as a former federal capital of Nigeria. Senator Oluremi Tinubu said that the request by Oba Akiolu will get the attention of the National Assembly through the Lagos representatives. Now, political parties have been charged to enhance women's participation in governance through international support and affirmative action. While calling for legal backing, participants at the forum held in Lagos affirmed that women can do much more in sensitive positions. We have details in this report.
Women leaders from different political parties at this one-day strategic forum to dialogue on improving women's participation in politics in Lagos State. Aimed at increasing representation in elective and influential positions, the forum demanded reforms such as legal framework and policies that eliminate hindrances and protect women in the political space. Convener of the forum, Bumi Dipo Salami, commends the Lagos State government's position on women's participation in governance as a yardstick for states to emulate.
We acknowledge the efforts of the leaders of Lagos State, of the governor of Lagos State, of the legislature. We appreciate their efforts, but we are saying they could do better, that more could still be done for the benefit of Lagos State.
With the current state of women's political and leadership participation in Nigeria, the forum states that the situation is not only disappointing but unacceptable, as statistics shows decline over the years. Intra-party dynamics, socio-cultural issues, gaps in policies and platforms are some of the challenges identified.
Politicians gathered together. We should have at least 35% of women also in that place. You know, we are not just there to come and patewo, clap our hands, and then when it's time to feed the people, you see the women who get up welfare.
You see, in politics, it's not only those women that are educated, are useful in the party. There are some illiterates. But if we encourage them and give them the courage, we can do better.
Party engender my constitution, but to achieve that 35% affirmative action is a bottleneck. You have to fight, you have to start writing letters, you have to pay advocacy visits to here and there.
You can't prefer any solution if you don't find the challenges, the sources of the challenges. And it's important to have the women themselves. They know, as they say, they know where it pinches them, so they know, they understand, they've been there. Some of them have, gone through, a lot of hurdles to be where they are.
Participants say the country is blessed with deserving and competent women for any elective political office in Nigeria.
To begin to make demands to say you have to give to women. We are not saying come and give the position to women in our own party, but in the party that is the ruling party, we have so many women, very brilliant, knowledgeable, intelligent, and that women who can really move their parties forward.
Participants, who are chairpersons and leaders from 15 political parties in Lagos State, took part in the interactive strategic forum organized by Baobab in collaboration with the International Foundation for Electoral Systems.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says his administration will make available 5 billion naira for the development of a permanent site for the Lagos State camp of the National Youth Service Corps, amongst the other largest. He made this known when he officially closed the 3 weeks orientation for the Batch B Stream 1 of the NYSC in Lagos. Adetola Kayode reports.
All decked in the official ceremonial wear of the National Youth Service Corps NYSC, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu arrived at the Lagos camp of the NYSC, inspected the quarter guard, followed by the parade of the 2024 Batch B Stream 1. The governor described it as outstanding. Governor Sanwo-Olu recalling with nostalgic feelings his own service year 37 years ago in the old Bauchi state, welcomed them to Lagos, the land of opportunities, urging them to challenge status quo, contribute meaningfully, dare to be different, serving with all sense of patriotism as the world is waiting.
As you venture into various fields, I urge you to exemplify the lessons of discipline, perseverance, teamwork, and a unique sense of patriotism. I want to assure you that Lagos will receive you well. Lagos will prepare you for that future. Lagos will give you that enablement that you require for you to succeed going forward.
In what appears like Christmas in July, Mr. Governor came with some goodies, including a brand new 32-seater bus, 100,000 naira each for the over 4,000 core members in Batch B Stream 1, 100 million naira for members of staff and supporting agencies, plus 5 billion naira for the full development of the NYSC permanent site with modern and fully equipped facilities, amongst other goodies.
We will ensure that before the end of our administration, that permanent site will be available for the future coming NYSC core members. And so with all sense of responsibility, and because you've been very hardworking, each and every one of you will go home with 100,000 naira. The best 100 will have the first right of refusal to join the public service of Lagos State. In respect of your profession, we will create a space for you and we will give you an automatic employment. But you will need to play your part for the next 1 year.
The 4,254 core members who have been enjoined to prioritize their place of primary assignment are all set to serve under the sun and in the rain in different sectors of Lagos's economy to round off the service year. Adetola Kayode, OTV News.
And in its quest to making healthcare services accessible and affordable to residents, the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has launched the Ilera Eko Standard Jara Health Insurance Plan and virtual booth. Governor Sanwo-Olu asked Lagos residents of all classes and age to register for at least one plan from the Lagos State Health Management Agency. Adetola Kayode reports.
As part of efforts at fulfilling the plans of the second pillar of its Things Plus agenda, the Lagos State government introduced the Ilera Eko Health Insurance Initiative targeted at achieving universal health coverage in Lagos. This time, it is introducing the Standard Jara Health Insurance Plan plus Ilera Eko virtual booths in 5 locations in the state. At the official launch, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says this initiative will go a long way in improving healthcare accessibility, reducing the financial burden of medical bills with heavily subsidized healthcare, so everyone can have access and affordability in all the nooks and crannies of the city-state.
Starting in August 2024, all Lagos State pensioners will receive a free 1-year Ilera Eko coverage, which will ensure their access to healthcare even while in retirement. We're doing all this to further our universal health coverage goal.
The governor, who confirmed that he has signed an executive order mandating everyone to be at least on one plan, shunning every form of self-medication, called on the private sector to also take advantage of the unique opportunity.
This administration believes more on enlightenment, engagement, and collaborative effort rather than enforcement. The law still stands to be implemented and obeyed. Therefore, violators of this law will not go unpunished when the enforcement takes its full course. We've given ourselves a target. Within the next 1 year, we might have up to 250 to 300 of these booths. Please let us utilize this facility. We brought these things to you. We brought it closer to where you are. We brought it closer to where your shops or your market or your offices are. Please let's make use of them.
The event also featured the investiture of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu as the Grand Ambassador of the Universal Health Coverage in Lagos, whilst both the governor and his deputy, Obafemi Hamzat, were decorated ambassadors of Ilera Eko. Adetola Kayode, OTV News.
Now, the Lagos State Water Regulatory Commission has launched a mobile app for packaged water service providers in the state. Special Advisor on Environment and Water Resources, Olakunle Akodu, says the initiative will ensure ease, seamless and productivity in business. Maugbejosu reports.
A smart city like Lagos needs to make more use of technology to enhance business activities through adequate data collection. For accurate information of packaged water providers in the state, The Lagos State Water Regulatory Commission is launching a mobile app to ensure water hygiene for residents' consumption.
We decided that the appropriate thing to do was to digitize, our operations with them. And luckily, we got an approval through Mr. Governor to have this automation done. And the mobile app for the packaged water producers would eventually give us an opportunity to register them, improve the interface between us as a commission or as a government agency and the water producers.
Together like this, we can on daily basis interact, relate, renewal processes of your licenses and whatever challenges you think is around in your business. The state is out to make the business seamless and easy. And whatever messages the state has to pass can easily be accessed through the app. Where you have gray areas, you can quickly touch on it and correct all of those things.
From this month, we'll start cutting all pipes that we will have zero tolerance for any pipes within the drains. All pipes will have to go, because if you look at it, why must we have pipes? And again, the way we do our drains are also not supposed. I'm glad that the wastewater man is also here. Our pipes are not receptacle of household waste.
On the issue of cholera outbreak, Speaker says stakeholders need not only focus on water but also on sanitation to curb the spread.
The issue of cholera always comes around during the rainy season. And that just tells us that there are a lot of fecal matter, human waste in the open, that at the advent of rain, the rain washes the fecal matter to our water sources, and we all consume water. Irrespective of where with the source, whether it is the groundwater or whether it is surface water, whether it is toilet water, all of them come from the ground or from the surface. So we have fecal matter contained in those water. And that's why the case of cholera is always very prominent, prominent during the rainy season.
You can see the outbreak of waterborne diseases that just recently came up in Lagos State. And you see it's an environmental related something. And then water. Any waterborne disease is deadly. Our duty is to produce wholesome water. Our water is clean and pure. It saves lives, it sustains life.
Packaged water service providers in Lagos State can log into www.laswaco.lg.gov.ng for registration and complaints. Maugbe Josu, LTV News.
Now, the commander of Area F, Paul Okafor, wants police officers to always add a human face while discharging their duties. Our correspondent, Maugbe Josu, who joined the tour to Alausa Police Division, says Okafor is also seeking more public support to ensure safety of lives and property. Her report.
Area Commander, Area F, Paul Okafor, at the Police Division Station, Alausa, inspecting the guard of honor. He is here for a duty tour to engage critical stakeholders on the security of the communities under the division.
We should wear human face. We should show love to members of the public while we execute our onerous responsibility. So I still want to reiterate that we need the public to work. And for us to function maximally, we need to cooperate and listen to your problems. Wearing human face, solve your problems without much ado.
It's about cooperation. When we call them to respond, they have a rapid response, whereby they respond adequately to curb the crime. But you know what? Crime is like a cleansing. We do it every day. So the moment we have a good cooperation and synergy with each other, you can be able to clear and then make the area to be peaceful.
If they see something, they should say something. We need them to deliver to them. They should be mindful of mischief makers, and they should never be part of it. There's nothing as good as a safe society, and we are assuring and reassuring Alausa people that we will deliver nothing but the best.
Community leaders present their demands to the area commander for effective policing.
We appeal to the area commander and to the Nigerian police is that they should give more hand so that the performance can be there. there is need for training and retraining, which will involve in training officers and men so that their performance can be improved upon.
We have been trained to train them. So we'll continue to rub minds with them, encourage them, reprimand them when there's need, and encourage them to work hard and give in their best.
Area F Police Command comprises of Alausa, Ikeja, Ilupeju, and Makinde Police Divisions. Maugbejosu, LTV News.
Still ahead. Federal government announces 2024 NECO results for Unity schools as JAMB cancels aptitude test for direct entry candidates. That's in a moment. Stay with us.
Must commend LTV television for the regular sensitization that has been going on the channel, raising the consciousness of our people on the issue of kidnapping.
Many thanks for staying with us. Now, the Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa has called for community engagement and education in areas where illegal mining occurs to help address the issue of illegal mining. Speaking at an investigative hearing on illegal mining in Abuja, he emphasized the need for governments to provide alternative sources of income for communities that rely on mining due to poverty. The security chiefs emphasized the need for government to demonstrate the political will in order to tackle illegal mining by ensuring that those involved, regardless of their status, face the consequences for their actions.
From December to date, we've arrested 387 individuals in connection with illegal mining. In Abia, we have 10 people arrested. In Ebonyi State, we have 12. The Federal Capital Territory and its environs, I mean places like Kuje, Gwagwalada, Buhari, and Co., we've arrested 276 individuals, while in Osun State, we've arrested 19.
We could sort of organize lectures through their the languages around there on how sustainable, legal sustainable mining are done and how they can key into it.
Earlier, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, was represented, and the Chairman of the House Committee on Solid Minerals, Gaza Jonathan, expresses dissatisfaction over unregulated exploitation of natural resources.
Parliament is deeply worried about the loss of revenue through unregulated and illicit mining operations, with the federal government disclosing that unlawful mining costs the country a whopping sum of $7 billion each year, with the only money coming from a 3% royalty paid by the few mining licensed miners.
I know for a certain that we have some of the best security forces in this world. I do not want to believe that they are incapable of dealing with this situation. And I think a lot of the challenge has to do with leadership, you know. And if we cannot take decisive steps, in spite of all that we are doing now, even if we have to shut down any form of mining in these areas for a year, in the interest of Nigeria and Nigerians, there will be nothing wrong with that.
Called for a swift and decisive action to address the issue, ensuring that the solid minerals sector operates within the legal framework and preserves natural resources for future generations. Now, the Federal Ministry of Education has announced the release of the 2024 National Common Entrance Examination results into the Federal Unity Colleges and Federal Government Academy, Suleja. Announcing the release of the Common Entrance results in Abuja, the Minister of State for Education, Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sunono, commended Lagos State government for registering the highest number of candidates, while calling on other state governments, especially northern states, to emulate Lagos to ensure equal access to education in their respective states.
This year, an unprecedented number of 52 candidates, 2 candidates from Lagos State and 50 candidates from Rivers State, were involved in examination malpractice. While federal government academic examination, 2,649 candidates registered for the examination, out of which 2,336 candidates sat for the examination. 313 candidates were absent. The highest score was 180, while the lowest was 5.
The minister also revealed that 71,291 candidates registered for the examination, adding that the results of candidates involved in examination malpractice were withheld pending the outcome of the investigation. Recall, the National Common Entrance Examination was conducted by the National Examination Council last month. The Zonal Executive Council, Zone C of the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnic, has called for the suspension of a new scheme of service in Nigeria Polytechnics introduced by the National Board for Technical Education. Speaking at a briefing on the new development, the group notes that the new scheme would crumble the already recorded achievements recorded by the sector. Olajumoke Uyewumi reports.
Comprising of Academic Staff Union of Polytechnic members from all federal and state polytechnics in the southwest region, including Kwara State. These groups are here at Yaba College of Technology to express their displeasure over the new scheme of service by the National Board for Technical Education, which they said will no doubt create threats to the polytechnic education.
The provision contained in the document is not a true reflection of what was prepared by stakeholders in the sector at the various times of deliberation, in meetings convened and coordinated by the regulatory body. The inclusion of sub-tertiary level education qualification, that is the NSQ, as a compulsory requirement for career progression of academic staff in Polytechnic, sound absurd and derogatory to the sector. Agitation of our union on this contentious document is a genuine effort to protect the polytechnic sector.
Some of the resolutions on the issue were also highlighted.
Having established that the contentious document grossly falls short of acceptable standards, the Zonal Executive Council hereby reiterates the 15 days ultimatum commencing from 8th of July 2024, issued by the NEC of our union to proprietors of public polytechnics for MBTE to suspend the implementation of the document pending amendments of the identified contentious provisions. The MBT should, as a matter of regulation, deploy appropriate instruments to look into the appointment of principal officers in Osun State Polytechnic, Ire. Federal Ministry of Education should work with the timelines contained in the roadmap for Nigeria education sector on the establishment of a commission for the Polytechnic and implementation of the dual mandate structure of polytechnics.
It will be recalled that the National Board for Technical Education on June 19, 2024 unveiled the new scheme of service as approved by the federal government for Nigerian polytechnics with effect from June 2024.
Talking education, JAMB has cancelled the aptitude test for 2024 direct entry candidates. A statement published on its X account says that other factors will be considered for direct entry admissions instead of the test. The board has shelved the conduct of the aptitude test for the year as other placement criteria shall be considered for the admission, while adequate preparation goes into the exercise ahead of next year. The board added that all processes have been put in place for the commencement of admission into the nation's tertiary institutions. No institution is expected to commence the admission process until after the policy meeting, as guidelines regulating the year's admission exercise are determined at the meeting with the endorsement of the Minister of Education. Meanwhile, the Joint Admission Matriculation Board says the 2024 edition of the annual policy meeting will be held on Thursday, noting that processes have been put in place for the commencement of admission into the nation's tertiary institutions. JAMB reveals that the Minister of Education, Tahir Mamman, will chair the 2024 policy meeting slated for July 18 in Abuja. The policy meeting will authorize the commencement of this year's admission. The policy meeting, usually attended by vice-chancellors of universities, rectors of polytechnics, monotechnics and innovation enterprise institutes, provosts of colleges of education and other critical stakeholders, will consider and approve the guidelines for the 2024 admission exercise. The meeting is expected to review the performance of the 2023 admissions exercise and the 2024 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination performance of candidates. Now, youths have been advised to look inwards, identify their aspirations with a view to putting them into positive use for socio-economic development of the country. Chairman National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lagos State Ibrahim Adigun, gave the advice during the 2024 World Youth Skills Day. Adeshegun Igap reports.
Youth are the greatest asset any nation can have and thus legitimately regarded as the future leaders who are potentially the highest investment of a country's socio-economic, political and technological development. To commemorate the 2024 World Youth Skills Day, the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lagos State organized a free skill acquisition program for young people across local government areas in the state.
We've seen where young people are making shoes, and we saw the practicality of it where a slippers was made and the slippers was customized. This is what we are encouraging, because we believe that an idle hand is the devil's workshop, and when young people are engaged in the space of our nation can only benefit from it by developing as a state.
The plan is to actually mobilize youth, engage them positively with entrepreneurship skills, digital skills, to make sure they are always useful in their environment, not just to be idle.
The youth leaders observed that the number of youth who are unemployed or exposed to lower quality level work should be of great concern to the government.
I believe that Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu is investing heavily to support youth entrepreneurship, youth capacity development, and so on and so forth. And Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our father, is also doing it. So we as young people, we have decided not to join the bandwagon of those that will be lamenting on social media or those that will be complaining. We also want to contribute our quota by ensuring that we explore the potentials of young people and develop their capacity.
The fact that they are our future leader, so we must prepare them to discharge the responsibility and other associating challenges that come with leadership. So we are preparing them in the area of formal education. We are with a sense of humility, we are doing excellently well to ensure we have a qualitative primary education.
They are assured of their unreserved commitment to full implementation of the core mandate of youth development policies in line with their policy trust.
Policies and the programs that we must be organizing must be programs that impact young people and engage them. Because our slogan in the Youth Council is build the youth, build the nation. We believe that our slogan is so because we believe that when young people are gainfully empowered, that is the only time when we can enjoy relative peace in our society.
Bringing into the labor market is going to be an impact to human life. I'm ready to go out to the world and make this a business idea for me.
The 2024 theme, Maintaining Peace Using Skills for Societal Development, is with the view to increasing enthusiasm for skills acquisition and entrepreneurship among young people. Adesegun Igop, LTV News.
Now, after many years of clamour for financial autonomy for the third arm of government, the Supreme Court has delivered judgment giving full financial autonomy to local government administration in Nigeria. In this report, Maugbe Josu takes a look at the reactions on the judgment. Harry Potter.
In the 27-ground suit filed by the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, the federal government sought an order preventing the governors from arbitrarily dissolving democratically elected councils and sued the 36 state governors over alleged misconduct of local government funds. On Thursday, July 11, 2024, the Supreme Court declared that it is unconstitutional for state governors to hold funds allocated for local government administrations. This was contained in a 7-man panel judgment delivered by Justice Emmanuel Agim. The court further declared that a state government has no power to appoint a caretaker committee, and a local government council can only be recognizable if democratically elected.
The legal work leading to this eventual victory was driven by the desire of the current administration to promote good governance, stimulate the welfare and development of our people, enhance peace, and combat insecurity at the grassroots in line with the constitutional mandate of the government.
Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, also speaks to the issue of local government elections being conducted by State Independent Electoral Commission, noting that it is a fundamental matter that needs attention.
There is also the need to introduce measures to ensure uniformity and security of tenure for local government officials across the country. The governors have weaponized the issue of tenure, so unless you do something, we will not move. And let me also share this, that the reason we went to court on the issue of local government, and which we all know, very few people here, either of the National Assembly, will dare their state governors if they ask you not to amend the constitution to allow for autonomy.
The issue of reforms of our electoral system. The Supreme Court has given a very important judgment on local governments. There is the additional question of reform of election system for local governments, which is very important for this country to look at if the judgment of the Supreme Court is to be given full effect, that there must be a system of election in local governments that is fair, that is transparent.
Chairman, House Committee on Finance, James Faleke, is optimistic of transparency.
The laws are very clear. If you misappropriate funds, the anti-graft agencies will take care of you. And there are no two ways about it. And I'm sure no local government chairman will want to appropriate people's funds. Let me also say, as chairman of finance, I will ensure that every month, the moment the allocations goes out, we will publish it in the papers for Nigerians to see how much has come to their local government.
Whether the financial autonomy given to local governments will bring positive development at the grassroots as envisaged, only time will tell. Maugbe Josu, LTV News.
Thank you, Maugbe. Coming up. International Monetary Fund maintains 2024 global forecast at 3.2%. That's in business news. Stay with us. On Business News tonight, the International Monetary Fund has held its global growth expectations for 2024 steady in a report, even as it cuts forecasts for the United States and Japan, while warning of inflation risks and trade tensions ahead. The International Monetary Fund expects the world economy to grow by 3.2% this year, unchanged from its April forecast, according to its World Economic Outlook update. But even as many countries saw better for 2025, it expects global growth of 3.3%. But even as many countries saw better growth than anticipated in the first 3 months of this year, the IMF flagged what it called notable surprises in Japan and United States. The Washington-based lender also cautioned that upside risks to inflation have increased, with service prices holding up disinflation. This increases the prospect of interest rates staying elevated for longer in the context of escalating trade tensions and increased policy uncertainty. Worried by the continuous hike in prices of food items, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has been engaging in fact-finding interactions with traders, trader associations, and marketers. The Commission says the fact-finding inquiry is an investigative mission to gather information directly and address key consumer protection and competition issues affecting the prices of commodities in the food sector.
This market is like an wholesale market, not a retail market. To talk to the source, to the people that are bringing this food or producing them or selling them here, to find out what the real reason is, so as to be able to put up a report. This time, FCCPC is in Lagos to visit some major markets in Lagos and speak directly to traders, trader associations, and marketers. First point is the Mile 12 International Perishable Food Market, where the Commission met with leaders, marketers, and traders.
Because the people you see in IDP camps, several IDP camps in Nigeria, in Zamfara, in Borno State, and everywhere in Nigeria, those people have their job they are doing. They are farmers. They don't know anything about they know nothing but farming. The only thing they know is for farming, for them to go to the farm. And those guys have been chased away by bandits. They've been killed, they've been maimed, they've been chased away from their communities. Those are the people bringing this item for us to eat. And any country that is not farming, the country will be in trouble. No matter how much reserve you have, no matter how much food you have in the country, your country must be in problem.
And then the Ileepo ultra-modern market at Okeodo, Abulegba.
Most of these goods, they bring most of them from northern part of Nigeria. Even the one that they are bringing to the market from the southern part of Nigeria, due to the cost of fuel, the diesel and the petrol, and then the insecurity in Nigeria. These are the most of the problem that these farmers and the marketers are facing right now in Nigeria.
With this exercise, the FCCPC says it will develop a concise report of its inquiry and make recommendations to government on broad-based policies in the sector.
Message more will be to the government, maybe to at least try and beef up securities in these areas where these foodstuffs are coming from. Because we can see in two markets that we've gone to, that is a major complaint. So it's to identify these areas where these foodstuffs are coming from and maybe beef up the security in those areas so the farmers can be free to go to the markets and plant their products.
The fact-finding inquiry, which will be held in the 36 states and the FCT, has been held in Bauchi, Katsina, Rivers, and Lagos. And that is on Business News. We'll now leave you with graphic details of trading on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
Chairman Lagos State Squash Association Tommy Falashi says the third edition of the Prime Atlantic Squash Open would improve the world rankings of participating players. PSA is the world governing body of squash saddled with the responsibility of ranking players based on their performance at